Our next speaker is Charles Ream.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak here. In kindergarten, I found that visual aids were very helpful. That's the percentage of your voters who are with us in trying to help people get medical marijuana in Ann Arbor. I've been a township trustee, a kindergarten teacher, and I'm the person most responsible for getting the 2004 medical marijuana charter amendment passed in Ann Arbor. This is a charter amendment. Last night I learned in sadness and outrage that the City of Ann Arbor Council was considering a resolution that would be a direct assault on democracy and a slap in the face to Ann Arbor voters and to many sick people in our great city. More than 74% of people, of voters, passed our local medical marijuana charter amendment in 2004. 63% of Michigan voters passed our statewide medical marijuana law in 2008. After these huge victories, the Ann Arbor City Council had lots of time to develop procedures for the distribution of medical marijuana. Voters passed medical marijuana by such huge margins because they wanted sick people, with their doctor's recommendation, to actually be able to get safe access to this medicine. City Council refused to discuss this question until half a dozen compassion centers had already opened up in town. I appeared before you months ago and told you that many dispensaries were starting to serve Ann Arbor patients, and I gave you a model ordinance which you could use, which took much time and money to develop. You refused to consider the matter until now, when you have hundreds of patients who are now depending on these compassion centers in Ann Arbor for their medicine. This is not their fault that you have ignored the question. Please do not pass this resolution. If you do pass it, please exempt those compassion centers which have already started to serve patients in Ann Arbor. This is a zoning change, and it can't be done as a sneak resolution. It would have to be done as an ordinance. It should certainly have a public hearing. There are city council members who knew nothing about this until yesterday. This is not how we do things in Ann Arbor. So many lawsuits would be generated by this resolution that they would take years to resolve and cost huge amounts of taxpayer money. And of course, this resolution could not be passed as it's now written because it includes cultivation, which is absurd. Cultivation is covered by the state law. A city can't take away rights which are provided by the state law. Please do not pass this resolution. Please allow those compassion centers which are functioning or ready to open to continue. 74% is a huge statement by Ann Arbor voters. Please implement the will of Ann Arbor voters and stop this attack on medical patients. People who are sick, really sick, can't grow their own medicine. This is Ann Arbor. Let's live up to that.
Thank you, Chuck.